Let us pray. Almighty God, in your wisdom and goodness, have appointed the offices of leaders and legislative assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen. Can you ring the bell, please, for quorum?
Point of information.
What point of information are you saying, Honorable Leader?
Mr. Speaker, I understand we have quorum unless, as the standing order says, the Speaker has got no eyes. So unless a member has risen here to say there is no quorum.
The clerk
We have quorum.
The clerk advise on quorum, please. Mr. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Proceed.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Proceed.
Order number 3, messages.
Proceed.
Order number 4, petitions.
Proceed.
Order number 5, papers.
Honorable members, under this order number, we have 2 business to be transacted by Honorable Dan Bevy and Honorable Patrick Ituko. Honorable Daniel Bevy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Daniel Mutukumbevi, MCM Lolongo Shukema Ward. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, the 15th day of February 2022. It concerns a report of the Transport, Roads, Housing and Public Works Committee on status of count major roads projects as of December 2021. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Dan. Honorable Patrick Ituko.
Point of information, Honorable Speaker.
You may use the other. That one has not been sanitized. So use the other one, and sanitizer terms, kindly ensure when somebody uses this, you sanitize it.
Point of information, Honorable Speaker.
What is the point of information?
Honorable Speaker, I want to bring to your attention that the House has no quorum. Please. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Phoebe Koki, I had been advised by Honorable Judas Ndawa and the clerk that there is quorum, so we are continuing. Honorable Patrick Ituko, proceed.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm Honorable Patrick Ituko, MCA for Ndidhini Ward, Chairperson Delegated Legislation Committee. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, the 15th day of February, 2022. It is a report on the Delegated County Legislation Committee on consideration of Machakos County Emergency Fund Regulations 2021. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Ketuko, Mr. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 6, notice of motion.
Again, honorable members, under this order number, we have 2 businesses, again to be transacted by Honorable Dan Bevy and Honorable Patrick Ketuko.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Once again, my name is Daniel Mutukumbevi, MCA Mololongo Syokimau Ward. Notice of motion. Honorable Speaker, that aware that the County Assembly's oversight function is one of the cornerstones of democracy. Aware that oversight is a means for holding the county executive accountable for its actions and for ensuring that it implements policies in accordance with the laws and budget passed by the County Assembly. Honorable Speaker, acknowledging that Article 183, Sub-Article 3 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, provides that the County Executive Committee shall provide the County Assembly with full and regular reports on matters relating to the county. Further aware that Article 185, Sub-Article 3 states that the County Assembly, while respecting the principle of separation of powers, may exercise oversight over the County Executive Committee and any other county executive organs. Honorable Speaker, cognizant of the fact that transport, roads, housing and public works is established under second schedule Standing Order 190 and is mandated to deal with all matters related to county transport, including county roads. Aware that the Committee on Transport, Roads, Housing and Public Works received report on status of county major roads from the Department of Transport, Roads and Public Works. Further aware that the committee conducted site visits to ascertain the status of the projects as indicated in the report, held meetings with the Chief Officer, County Executive Committee member and compiled a report. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that this Honorable House discusses and approves the Transport, Roads and the Public Works report on status of County Major Roads projects as at December 2021. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Dan. Honorable Patrick.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to give a notice of motion on the following. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 94(5) of the Constitution provides that no person or body other than Parliament has the power to make provision having the force of law in Kenya except under authority conferred by this Constitution or by legislation. Further aware that Article 95(6) of the Constitution provides that an Act of Parliament or legislation of a county that confers on any state organ, state officer or person the authority to make provision having the force of law in Kenya as contemplated in Clause 5, shall expressly specify the purpose and objectives for which that authority is conferred, the limits of the authority, the nature and scope of the law that may be made, and the principles and standards applicable to the law made under the authority. Acknowledging that the Public Finance Management, that is Machakos County Emergency Fund Regulations 2021, were published in the Kenyan Gazette Vide Legal Notice number 18 of the 2012 and submitted to the Clerk of the County Assembly for consideration in line with Section 11 of the Statutory Instruments Act 2013. Cognizant that the regulations seek to establish an efficient institutional framework for the management of disasters and emergencies, as well as to facilitate and coordinate the development and implementation of an integrated disaster preparedness and emergency management system in the county. I wish to give notice of motion that this Honorable House discusses and approves the committee report on delegated county legislation on consideration of the Public Finance Management, that is Machakos County Emergency Fund, Regulations 2021. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Patrick Etugo. Mr. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable members, under this order number, we have two business. The first one to be transacted by the Leader of Majority, Honorable Mark Mwendo, and the second one to be transacted by Honorable Moses Mita. Honorable Mark Mwendo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the House Business Committee met on Monday, 14th February 2022 to prioritize business for the House pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 151, sabbatical 5. The committee balloted business as follows. Tuesday afternoon, 15th January 2022, at 2:30 p.m. A. Report of Transport and Public Works Committee on report on status of the county major roads projects by Honorable Daniel Baby, Chairperson, Transport and Public Works Committee. B. Statement on the CECM Department of Finance and Economic Planning. Let me repeat. B. Statement of what the CECM Department of Finance and Economic Planning is doing to ensure the revenue collection targets are met, especially the queries by Honorable Moses Meta, MCA Kangundo Ward. Wednesday morning on 16th, report of Delegated Legislation Committee on Public Finance, Machakos County Emergency Fund Regulations by Honorable Patrick Ketuku, Chairperson, Delegated and Legislation Committee, February on 2022 at 10 a.m. Sorry, I think there's just a minute. Sorry, Honourable Speaker, there was misprinting there. Let me repeat. On Wednesday morning, 16th February 2022, at 10 a.m., report of Delegated Legislation Committee on Public Finance, Machakos County Emergency Fund Regulations by Honorable Ketuku, Chairperson, Delegated Legislation Committee. B. Statement on KRB projects in the county from the year 2018 to 2022, indicating 1. Contract number, 2. Name of contractor, 3. Contract description, 4. Contract sum, 5. Location of projects specified in award. That one by Honorable Mark Mwendo, MCA Kinanya Ward. On Wednesday afternoon, 16th February 2022, at 2:30 p.m., report of Implementation Committee on the status of implementation of the report by Agriculture Committee on Agricultural Training Center, ATC, by Honorable Patrick Modoka, Chairperson. Frederick Modoka, Chairperson, Implementation Committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mark Mwendo. Honorable Moses.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, aware that the county government's approved budget for fiscal year 2021-2022 is Kenya shillings 12.24 billion, comprising Kenya shillings 3.82 billion into brackets 31.2%, and Kenya shillings 8.2 billion into bracket 68.8%, allocation for development and recurrent programs respectively. To finance the budget, the county expects to receive Kenya shillings 9.16 billion, that is 74.9%, as the equitable share of revenue raised nationally, and generate Kenya shillings 1.86 billion into brackets 13.8% from its own sources of revenue. The county also expects to receive Kenya shillings 1.39 billion into brackets 11.4% as conditional grants. Honorable Speaker, according to the report of the Controller of Budgets on implementation for the first quarter of the fiscal year 2021-2022, highlighted that as at 30th September 2021, the county had raised Kenya shillings 155.06 million as own source revenue. Aware that out of these, Kenya shillings 45 million was collected from quarries, where it is in public knowledge that in previous years, Kenya shillings 60 million was collected from the same quarries per month. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 41, I wish to seek the following statement from the Chairperson Finance and Revenue Collection Committee. What the CECM, Department of Finance and Economic Planning, is doing to ensure that revenue collection targets are met, especially at the quarries. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Moses Mita, for that statement. And as is custom, whenever a statement like this, touching on issues to do with the county is made, the chair allows members to comment on the same. Is there any member who wishes to comment on this statement, please? Honorable Judas now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Judas Dawa, representing the great people of Matu. Mr. Speaker, the statement is directed to the chairperson, Committee of Finance and Revenue Collection is not around, but as I'm a member of that committee, and I may not have the capacity to answer, but we ended a meeting last week with the revenue officers from the executive committee, and we tried to look at the loopholes, why the county is not collecting what it intended to collect. And one of the reasons that we got is that quarrying, those who are transporting the quarry materials are doing it at night, when our revenue officers have already left from the quarry sites. And we agreed that we should make measures. We should ensure that we have our revenue officers throughout. We have shift. We have those who are working during the daytime, and we also have officers to work during the night, because there is no curfew, and as we are aware, everybody has the right of movement to move from point A to point B without considering time. So that is one of the reasons, among others. So the committee is honoring the matter, and very soon we'll give a comprehensive report on the way forward. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Mark Mwendo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me also congratulate Honorable Meta for seeking this statement. Honorable Speaker, as you all are aware, we live in this county. We are not outsiders. Honorable Speaker, when we say that, when the report from Auditor General tells us that we are collecting 45 million, when you have been collecting of 60 million, there's a lot of questions which should be raised from that.
Just to clarify for you, Honorable Majority Leader, it is 45 million per quarter in the quarter, while from the statement I can see it is 60 million per month. So they are reporting 45 for 3 months, while we should be collecting 60 per month.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for that information. But also, Honorable Speaker, it is even below what has been, what the municipal, the former municipal council of Mafoko used to collect. because, as I always say, I was once a councillor. That time we were not called honorable members, we were called councillors. That was from 1997 to 2002. Honourable Speaker, let me say, these quarries, every time we'll be talking about under collection of revenue from these quarries, this is purely intentional, Honourable Speaker, because, Honourable Speaker, when you go there, and I think the Finance Committee has been there several times, you see people carrying receipt books, collecting that revenue on a manual way, which is, to me, is a Kenyan way, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, you'll find those clerks, most of them, they have 2 receipt books, one for the county, one for thieves. Therefore, Honourable Speaker, this under collection is going to be, this under collection has been here since we came to this assembly, and we are saying, Honourable Speaker, that we wish the new government will listen and collect revenue properly. Honourable Speaker, it's a way of collecting this revenue. All those quarries, we know them, and we know that we used to collect 2.5 million a day. That is during our time. And Honourable Speaker, those days, the quarries were not many. Today, we have doubled the quarries. And you know, as we are talking today, Honourable Speaker, our quarries are fully mismanaged. We have areas like Kwakarosa, where they normally get the building stones. And we have the quarries which are up in Mololongo and around there where we are getting ballast. Honourable Speaker, each and every quarry has got a weighing bridge, which is electronic. Other counties who have advanced, they have put their software joined together with the weighing bridge of the owners of the quarry. And then from there, you don't need to have all this stuff with the yellow kabutis collecting money. You just have a collection from the source, whereby our officer will know that in a day, from the weighing bridge, in a day we have sold this tonnage. And a ton, if we have put the tonnage to be, say for example, 9,000, then we know how much money we are going to get. And then even the owner can even give the county government a check or bank that money direct. And then this, we will prevent this kind of losses we are facing. Honourable Speaker, as you go there today, because like even last week I was there, I'm going to see my property there, you find a lot of disorganization. You find a lorry, which one, some of them they come, they don't pay. Somebody goes and collects the money. And this, as I always say, Honourable Speaker, these quarries can feed this county, and we don't need even to rush to Mama Mboga to ask him to give us 10, to ask her to give her 10 shillings, because we'll be collecting enough. Therefore, Honourable Speaker, I think this is the time the county government of Machakos must listen to this assembly, must take action, and remove these people with the kabutis from that site. And then we correct from the source. Or we hire, like in Nairobi, Honourable Speaker, when they found that they are losing a lot of revenue on parking, what they did, they hired KRA for them to collect their revenue. And they are collecting a lot of money. We can also use the KRA to collect the revenue from those quarries. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Mark Mwendo. Interesting. Okay, honourable members, this statement is committed to the Committee on Finance and Revenue Collection. I would like to, from the chair, direct that they summon the Chief Officer, Revenue Collection, and hold a discussion with the Chief Officer, Revenue Collection. I would actually make a recommendation here. I am not going to commit this to the Committee of revenue collection. I'm actually going to commit this to the General Oversight Committee, and I direct that the General Oversight Committee summons the Chief Officer in charge of revenue collection to appear before the General Oversight Committee in the next 7 days to be able to explain to the General Oversight Committee why we should be collecting 45 million shillings in 3 months while we should be collecting 60 million in 1 month. 60 times 3 is 180 million. So we have got a loss of 135 million in the first quarter only. So I would like that chief officer to come and explain to this honorable house why we are not collecting that revenue. And at the same time, I need her to be told to come and with a report detailing what plans they have to automate revenue collection and do away with the manual revenue clerks we have there. I always say, I do not understand why we have a few number of queries and we cannot collect all the revenue, yet the government collects revenue from oil industry, which has got thousands of petrol stations. But you will never find a revenue officer in a petrol station. But all the tax is collected and remitted to the government. So why would it be difficult for us to collect revenue directly from source, from a few queries, which are just located in one area in Mulolongo and another area, and another area in Matungulu. So let the chief officer also come and explain to us what process they have put in place to ensure we have automation. So that report is committed, and I repeat again, to the General Oversight Committee to summon the chief officer, revenue collection, to appear before this honorable house over the next 7 days. Mr. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 8. Motion, approval of report on status of county major roads projects as at December 2021.
Honorable members, under this order number, we have one motion to be moved by Honorable Daniel Mbevi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Daniel Mutukumbevi, MCA Mulolongo Shukema Ward. I wish Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It was just a small consultation. Yes. Honorable Speaker, that aware that the County Assembly's oversight function is one of the cornerstones of democracy. Aware that oversight is a means for holding the county executive accountable for its actions and for ensuring that it implements policies in accordance with the laws and budgets passed by the County Assembly. Honorable Speaker, acknowledging that Article 183, Sub-Article 3 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, provides that the County Executive Committee shall provide the County Assembly with full and regular reports on matters relating to the county. Further, aware that Article 185, Sub-Article 3, states that the County Assembly, while respecting the principle of separation of powers, may exercise oversight over the County Executive Committee and any other county executive organs. Honorable Speaker, cognizant of the fact that transport, roads, housing, and public works is established under this Assembly Standing Order 190 and is mandated to deal with all matters related to count transport, including count roads as per the second schedule of the same standing orders. Same orders. Aware that the Committee of on Transport, Roads, Housing and Public Works received report on status of count major roads projects from the Department of Transport, Roads and Public Works. Further aware that the committee conducted site visits to ascertain the status of the projects as indicated in the report, held meetings with the Chief Officer, County Executive Committee member, and compiled a report. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that this Honorable House discusses and approves the Transport, Roads, Public Works report on status of count major roads projects as at December 2021. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to request Honorable Mutinda to second the motion.
Honorable Thomas Mutinda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Thomas Mutinda, representing Wamonyo Ward. I'm on the floor to second the motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, honorable members. Noting that we do have the report with us, and I would like members to go through this report. What I am therefore going to do is I'm going to propose the question, and then we postpone debate for members to go through the report. When we come again, it will go back to the House Business Committee, and you will just come to do the recommendations in the next sitting and the continuation of debate, so that honorable members can have time to go through the report.
Mr. Speaker, may I request that you order the table clerk to give us a hand copy so that we can be able to peruse.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir.
So I also request the table clerk to ensure honorable members get hard copies so they can be able to peruse. It also ensure it is also posted on the website. So give hard copies and also ensure that it's posted on the website. I now propose the question that this honorable House discusses and approves the Transport, Roads and Public Works report on the status of county major road projects as of December 2021. So honorable members, you may go through the report and then we'll be able to discuss it in the next sitting. Honorable members, with that, the House is adjourned to resume again on Wednesday, the 16th day of February 2022 at 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.